So Anuj, you were talking to me about mind and connection of mind with moon. What are your thoughts? I mean, can you just help us, enlighten us and the
See,
audience?
when we talk about connections of planets and why astrology works, first of all, we have to think of many times what I was talking about, that there are physical signs how cosmology affects life and matter on Earth. And most visible signs for us are high tide and low tides in the ocean. Those happen from moon. That's because the moon is closer, although the gravity attraction of the pull of sun is stronger than moon, but moon being although smaller with lesser gravity pull, it is closer to us, so its gravity affects us more perceptibly than sun's. Okay, although all origin of all the powers that the moon exhibits come from sun. That we don't have to forget that moon itself doesn't carry light. Moon reflects the light of sun. So moon is a reflector. Moon is not a creator. Okay. So moon also in spiritually, it also represents mother or the female energy. Sun
Correct.
represents the male energy. Okay. And therefore, the main energy, that is heat and everything coming from sun, which gives life and energy, it is converted to juice, emotions, and all kinds of rasas. The word rasa in Sanskrit means juice, it means essence of everything. Or emotions come under rasas. All this is controlled by moon. Now, this also comes to saying in Sanskrit, there is a saying, Chandrama Manaso Jataka. And
Hmm.
Chandrama means moon, Manaso means mind, and Jataka means a person. So,
Mm.
the moon represents the mind of a person. That is the adage, the Sanskrit adage in astrology that we follow.
Okay.
When we look deeply into it across different cultures, we see that the Latin, Anglo-Saxon languages, they use the word luna or the name, the names of the days of week. They are Lundi, Mardi, Mercredi, or Monday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, depending on based on planets. Where
Hmm.
Monday is moon day. That means the day of the moon. And that moon day or Monday is common in all across cultures. Why? Because that day something is happening because of which moon is more important for us. Okay. In the same way, moon, when it takes care of the high tides and the low tides, and Earth being 75% water, and the same being us who are 75% water, the effect may be very small. There might not be high tides coming in us, inside our water content in the body, so to say, in literal sense, but there are high tides coming because of its effect. What are those high tides? Those high tides are and low tides are of emotions, because moon reflects the mind of a person. Man ka swami hai, man ka द्योतक hai. It
Mm.
represents your mind. Mind means emotions and everything mixed. Heart and mind mix emotions. Okay, so now when those high tides and low tides are coming, and also we know a few years back, a few decades back, we thought it is such a small thing, it will not make a difference. But now with advanced scientific discoveries and inventions, we have come to know, or we have come to the conclusion, the smaller the thing, the bigger and the more intense are the effects of that when it comes to its being, to its state of, okay, now I'm here. When that
Mm.
small thing announces, when I am here, you cannot ignore it.
Mm. Mm.
The small thing you can see around us, the smaller the things, the more widespread its effect and more stacked. It takes longer, but the more stacked the effects. So now moon also affects the water in us. Therefore, we will see police stations or
Mm-hmm.
security agencies who are dealing with general public and otherwise maybe, but general public, they will have higher number of policemen on duty on road on a new moon night and on a full moon night. Okay,
Very
because
interesting.
yeah, there actually the police calendar, you will, if you will Google police
Mhm.
calendar based on moon phases, you will see that many police departments across the world, they used to
Mm.
follow, or maybe they still follow, the lunar phase calendar for putting number of constables on duty, number of policemen on duty, because it is expected on new moon and full moon days,
Wow.
nights, it will be more crime. Okay.
Very
Now,
interesting.
let's come to lunatic asylums. Now, the name itself, lunatic asylum, that means a place for people who are affected by the malady of moon.
Mm.
Okay? The disease of moon, that means their moon is affected. When we see their charts, astrological charts, lo and behold, what do we find? Moon is somehow bound by the astrological principles. We would be able to say wherever this moon is, either it is weak and or plus it is weak and afflicted by various not so positive forces or forces that do not power it but take away its or increase the weakness. More you
Mm.
will find that I have seen in my own experiences, people with bipolar disorders.
Mm.
Now,
Very
pardon me
true.
my political correctness, but bipolar disorders are not normal sicknesses. I would say they are borderline lunatic cases.
Mm. Very
Okay.
true. I've,
And I
yeah.
would just like to beg your pardon and explain a little bit before I get flack on this, that I'm not calling them mad, but bipolar by its own definition means a person incapable of keeping a balanced state of mind. His mind travels from one pole to another more than others.
Correct.
Okay, others are able to control maybe their anger, their upset. They're upset, but they don't want to show it in a party. But person who is bipolar or who's not able to control his emotions or who is mad will not care about anything or situation. He will show his poles more often than others. And I would say that those bipolar people are affected by moon sickness. Their minds are affected because their moons are affected. And I find that these people, I find their moon generally exalted moons. Moon in Taurus, exalted moon, but in Rashi Gandan or between 0 degree, 29 degree. Okay.
Okay.
So exalted moon in Taurus, but in that 0 degree range. There you will find them or very badly affected. Now, afflicted moon not all the time give rise to such kind personalities. Afflicted moon also give rise to amazing, gifted surgeons.
Mm.
Okay. A surgeon has to have a very good Mars and an afflicted moon.
Correct. I've
Because
seen those charts. I know some
yeah.
of the very big surgeons of the world. Some of them are my good friends now. I've seen their charts. You're very right. Their moons are reflected, and they have very good mass in their charts.
Okay, so now this is the personal aspect of it, that in charts you would see this and how moon affects. Now, the second way the moon affects is moon actually fills our entire cosmos with juice, that what I touched before. And juice, the actual word in Sanskrit is rasa, and ras encompasses all kinds of juices. They can be the emotions or the nine different emotions, anger and love and all those things, plus
Mm-hmm.
the the taste. Okay, it is also the taste. It is
Mm-hmm.
also the juice of life. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
whatever we experience, passion, emotions, all those things are juices also. Now, when we talk about juices, we see that all the plant and everything, it makes food in the day in the presence of Father, Son,
Mm-hmm.
and then at night, when the Mother Moon transforms, takes all the heat of Father, Son, transforms it, cools it down, and makes it what we call matsalya, or fills it
Correct.
with
Nourishment.
motherly love,
Yeah,
with nourishing love,
yeah,
and then sends it back to earth. The whole mankind then benefits from this motherly love or motherly energy transformed by moon. The energy comes from sun and
yeah.
put on earth, and that's when at night all these plants and everything, they get filled with rasa, they get filled with
Mm.
juice, they get filled with nectar. Okay,
Yeah,
and that is
yeah.
why all plants which if we cut, they leak sap or resin. They are all plants which come under the rulership of moon.
Moon.
Moon
Yeah.
is liquid, moon is milk. So there are
Mm.
we can connect it in n different number of ways.
Mm.
Okay. Secondly, a very, very important fact that we find. or I would like to add here, is the moment we talk about yoga, we say yama niyama. Okay, there are Ashtanga yoga, there are 8 limbs of yoga.
Mm.
First comes, before a yogasana comes yam and niyama.
Mm.
What is yam and niyama? Yam and niyam is your attempt at indriya nigraha. Indriya means all the desires, the various sense organs which are outward facing.
Correct.
Uh, okay, Sabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, all these tanmatrai which are outward facing.
Mm-hmm.
These organs, basically, you have to control them. You don't have to let them take you wherever they want. You have to control them so that you can use them whenever you want, at whichever place you want.
Mm.
So these organs should be, or these desires should be in your control, not you being in their control.
Correct.
So yam and niyam are indriya nigraha. The moment we start doing indriya nigraha coupled with yogasana, yoga, pranayama, dhyan, pratyahar, dharana, all that different limbs,
Mm.
we
Yeah.
progress on that Ashtanga yoga path, and just by practicing Indriya Nigraha, we are trying to control our mind. We are controlling moon. And the moment we control moon, we are slowly getting in the path of how to change our destiny and karma.
Mm.